Beyond the noise and the negativity, there is a Jamaica that is building, thriving, and thinking. At Let's Talk, we're capturing that spirit and exploring the issues that define our modern lives. From empowerment to finance to current affairs, it's more than just a conversation, it's an investment in us. This is Let's Talk. Welcome. I am David Henry, your host. We have an inspiring show for you today. Our guest has spent over 30 years helping businesses and institutions understand people and communities through data and research. But when Hurricane Melissa devastated the Bastard Cedar Walk community in Petersfield, Westmoreland, she felt called to move beyond analysis into action. She's now working alongside residents and advocating for people-centered recovery that sees communities not just through the lens of disaster, but through resilience and dignity. Please welcome to the show my friend, the lovely Kishka-Kaye O'Connor Anderson, CEO of Market Research Services Limited. Hi, Kish.
Hi, David.
How are you?
I am amazingly well. Thanks very much for having me.
Looking beautiful as ever.
Thanks.
And it's a joy to have you here, Kish. It's been a while since we've talked, but the fact that you're here today says a lot for me. And I know it's going to say a lot for you and what you're doing for the Bastard Cedar Walk community. So let's just, before I even go with that, let's start with Market Research Services. You've spent over 30 years helping organizations understand people. What does that actually look like? And what have you learned about Jamaican communities through all that research?
All right. Thanks, David. No, first of all, let me just say I have the privilege of being the CEO of Market Research Services Limited. We're over 50 years old. And that position has just been amazing, an amazing journey for me over the last 30 years. We are known for the Don Anderson polling.
Right, indeed.
To the beautiful, handsome, gorgeous man, Donald Anderson. That's my husband. And so that has taken us to different heights. But that's what we're known for.
Right.
The truth be told is, what we do research in all kinds of things. Over 30 years of research, what have I learned in communities? Do you have all day?
No,
No, you don't have all day.
no, I have all day to spend with you. Yes, Kish. But we know what's all right.
It's what I can tell you about Jamaica is that we are small, but we're huge, and everybody knows that. And everywhere that you go, every nook and cranny, you're going to discover something new about this special island, Jamaica. And the good thing about research and the industry, it takes us into different areas, different walks of life, different topics. And I have not stopped learning in the 30 years of being in market research. And that is also just so amazing about what I do.
Beautiful.
But what I've learned about communities, we are a special set of people. We're aspirational. We are proud. We can be very proud as a people, as a nation. We have a lot to celebrate, and we want to be celebrated and celebrate.
Well, we did say also earlier that we're a resilient people too.
Go,
Indeed.
absolutely.
You've been doing some groundbreaking work with your company, and then Hurricane Melissa hits and devastated the Bastard Cedar Walk community in Westmoreland. What was it about that particular situation that made you feel called to move from analyzing communities to actively supporting one?
All right. So when Melissa hit, I was actually out of country. I was away with my mom at a lifestyle.
You weren't here?
I was not.
Okay.
But I was in touch with my team back home, and my fieldwork manager, she's actively involved with persons in field. And I remember speaking to her and asking her, checking in, how are the data collectors? Because our data collectors are right across the island. In every parish, we have persons. And she said she could not reach to some of the data collectors in the West.
Okay.
A few days later, she said, we're not able to reach them, but she got a picture of a building that happened to be one of our data collectors. And I said she couldn't reach her. She couldn't reach her. Somebody got wind, but they're not able to speak because the phone system was down.
Right.
And so I said to her, I called her, I think I was coming back the Sunday, about the Wednesday, I said, we're going in. So we went in. I got back to the island the Sunday after Melissa, and the Wednesday we went in. And when I
which was basically a day after because the
no,
hurricane hit when?
the
The
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I came back the Sunday
Right.
after. So
Oh, okay. The Sunday. So about a week after. Okay.
after
Okay.
Melissa, we went into Bastard Cedar Walk.
Right.
Bastard Cedar Walk happened to be where we had some of our data collectors, and I said, we're going in. We need to find them. We need to know what's going on. When I went to Bastard Cedar Walk and saw the devastation, the flattened homes,
Wow.
the sense of despair, you know, of worry, of what's going to happen next. There was absolutely no option but for me to try to put my heart and my hands and my everything together to try to restore one. And I know this is many. The Westmoreland, the western side of the island, as you know, was very badly hit.
Right.
It's just one of many communities. But I thought, well, I can't help everybody, but this one needs some support. So that got me attached to Bastard Cedar Walk.
Okay.
And not only that, when I heard the stories, what was amazing about that community? They are in the Petersfield area. There is a shelter. They didn't go to the shelter. The shelter didn't have enough capacity for everybody.
For everybody.
But the few homes that were standing, even some wooden homes, the community is characterized by wooden homes, but even some wooden homes took in families whose homes were totally demolished. And they were living like one big family. And that said to me, this community has something special.
Right.
And is worth giving them that extra special to help them restore back to some level of normalcy. And that's really what tugged at my heart.
Oh, beautiful. Because you said that you want people to see the community not just through the lens of disaster, but through resilience, dignity, and shared responsibility. Why is that framing so important?
Ultimately, those words that you've described, that's what we need as a people, oneness. I mean, to build back. We're talking now, we're now beyond emergency and we're at restoration. So having suffered what they would have suffered, they need resilience. They need that sense of the dignity, what we see, the characteristic of the community is just important for building, and one community at a time will just yield to that kind of a nation.
Correct.
And so for me, those words or that idea is what Jamaica needs as a country for us to just build.
Right.
Beautiful, beautiful island. We're spoken about. We're on the world map, and that's what makes us one.
Indeed.
And I saw that in Melissa when I saw persons from all walks of life coming to help those who were sadly devastated. It said to me, we are indeed a special people. And I wanted them to see Bastard Cedar Walk beyond disaster, but the beauty of the souls that live in that community.
Well, you know, Kishka, you've painted a picture for me, and I can't get the image out of my mind. So I can just imagine what you saw when you went there. As you said, people with board houses taking in other people that didn't have. So, and I can just imagine there was not enough room for everybody, but yet everybody was living as one. Well, you've been coordinating support and bringing visibility to the community's ongoing needs. What are the biggest challenges families in Bastard Cedar Walk are still facing? And what kind of support do you really need?
Right now, first of all, let me just acknowledge that I have really received quite some support once we went in. You know, food, clothing, toiletries. At this stage of their lives, they need back their homes. In fact, from week one, when I went in and I saw what happened and I saw the homes just totally demolished, I said, you know what? The ultimate goal has to be homes. It's not just food. Yes, they need the food. I appreciate the food that's coming. And
they need the clothing and all of that, right.
But at the end of the day, if you have nowhere to live, nowhere to sleep restfully at night, then we have a bigger problem on our hands.
Oh, indeed.
Because they're going to know, yes, the homes have been generous, but tension's going to rise because they're not living on top of each other in the home. So the ultimate goal right now is giving back them homes. They need homes over there or roofs over their heads. The ultimate goal right now.
In all of this, there has been no tent cities or no for the people there?
Not really, no.
You haven't seen that?
No. No, no, no.
So where all the 10 them there?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, there are 2 tents that's in the community, and those were donated by to a lovely lady, her son, who decided he was going to give tents because he saw that there was a need. People need something over their head. But we have not received any tents from those that we received as a country.
From the 1,000 that were sent
I
by
don't know what
others?
those are. Well, none. Bastard Cedar Walk did not get
No, they get any.
I mean, maybe other communities did.
Kish, hold that because you have a whole lot more to tell you and I have a lot more to find out. We'll be right back. Let's talk.
Your brand deserves to be seen. Don't settle for ordinary. Choose Symbiotic Media, delivering ultra-sharp, crystal-clear LED screens that make every image pop. Brighter visuals, seamless setup, service you can trust. From major events to intimate podcasts, big or small, we do it all. Your screen deserves to be seen. Call Symbiotic Media, 876-429-1110.
Are you seeking specialty dental care? Well, look up Emirates Facial and Dental Specialists, Jamaica's only all-specialty dental practice. All board-certified oral surgeons, periodontists, and endodontists, offering maxillofacial procedures such as wisdom teeth extractions, laser gum surgery, dental implants, and root canals. Dr. Williams, Parkin, and Beecher offer state-of-the-art specialty procedures at affordable fees. Call 876-678-6967 or 876-391-2923 to schedule an appointment today.
What great stories do you want to tell today? We are your storytellers. We are Digital Video Concept.
If you come to Jamaica and you want to have the best shoots ever, you have to call Digital Video Concept.
Producing extraordinary imagery with high-definition cameras on the ground and in the sky. Excellence is in our nature. Call us today for all your video storytelling need.
None of this would be possible, of course, if we didn't have our partners at Digital Video Concept.
Are you ready? We are ready. Let's go!
Welcome back to Let's Talk. In studio with me is the lovely Kishka Anderson, CEO of Market Research Limited, and my friend. Kish, as you were saying earlier, when this first happened, yes, there was a lot of outpouring. As you said, it galvanized people from all over the world, so much so that the airlines could tell you, bring as much as you can. We're not going to tax, you don't have to pay for, right? There was so much to receive and so much to give. But yet, not having a place to put it, not having a home to be comfortable, to receive all these things, to store these things, I'm sure it was a problem. But we've all seen it. Disaster happens and there's an immediate outpouring of support. Then the headlines move on and the donations slow down. But the people are still there, still rebuilding. Are people still showing up for the long haul, or has it been difficult to maintain momentum?
The truth be told is we do get some calls, and you're right. We're getting calls because I have clothes to donate and I have, and the question, well, I obviously receive it with gratitude. We're grateful, but we have to hold it.
Right.
Because ultimately they need a roof over their head. So I see definitely, I can speak from the experience of the Bastard Cedar Walk. There's definitely some amount of slowing of the momentum because people have moved on with their lives. We're now, almost 3 months after Melissa. And people have grown weary. People have said, I've heard comments like, well, I've done enough, now it's time for the government. I think that's another thing. People like to hear what the government is doing and see
what the government
is doing. So some persons are feeling like, this is not my job. I'm helping my country folk, yes. But there comes a point in time when I need to back off and allow the government to do the thing. Now, my take is, yes, there might be a point about that. But the people still exist. The children, the elderly, the disabled in these communities, they still have nowhere to sleep or to rest comfortably.
And you're invested. You're deeply invested in this, yeah. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually.
Yes, the government should be doing, but if they're not moving with alacrity or as fast as they would like, the people in
Right.
the community would like or need to for their own sense of dignity and for peace. and for
Well-being, yes.
and you know the children, it's hard to see them, you know, asking, when will I get back my home? You know, this was my home, it mashed up, I'd have nothing. So we still have to keep it going. And I know when we do reach out, we will get support, and we have gotten support, but the momentum has somewhat died down, yes.
Well, how has your professional expertise in understanding communities and decision making helped you in this advocacy work?
Yes, very good question. You know, going into the Bastard Cedar Walk community, a rural Westmoreland community with a diverse set of individuals, you really have to understand the hierarchy. You have to understand that in those communities, you have persons who have certain roles, and you have to make sure you. So when we went in, we were just so eager to help.
So gone home.
And then I think we might have stepped on some person's toes with just our help, but through communication and humility, just, you know, backing off and say, okay, thanks for letting us know that's how it goes, and you
Right.
rewind and come again. And the persons, the people in the community, they've been extremely grateful, very supportive of the process. We're now doing our own needs assessment in the community so that we're fair. And even though our interviewers live in there, it's not just about the interview.
Right.
It's about the community at large.
On a whole.
And so we've now taken our analytic skills into the way we see recovery by doing a needs assessment survey for ourselves, assessing the communities or the homes with the greatest needs. And we want to also involve the community in decision making, because we don't have a whole lot of money. There's no money. We're taking donations, so we have to pace ourselves and decide which family going to get the first home, who's going to get I'd love to be able to give 10 homes one time, but we don't have those kind of resources. So we now have to decide who is going to get the first home. And we want to make sure that when we do that, it's based on data.
Right.
And we are in the business of reliable scientific data, and we trust the data that we're going to get out of it. And so that's what we'll be relying on in making those decisions.
But you said something, and I have to come back to it, Kish, because there's a hierarchy in there. So do they have a part to say in this decision as to who gets the first home?
That is the plan.
Yes, so it's not just data driven alone, right?
The community will decide. So what we will obviously have to do is say, based on the data we have, these are the ones that seeming to have most need. Who do you think should be the first family to get that home? That's the approach we're going to.
But that should be hard within itself.
It is indeed hard, but at least we have a short list.
Right.
And what I see about the community, they are just such a gem. Jamaican people, nice, you know. They seem like such, and I'm not saying that you won't have some outliers, not everybody's like that, but I think they're so reasonable. And when I saw it, I want to share this story. There was a young lady that I was walking around with. Her house was totally flat. The first or the second time we went in with a building engineer, because we decided that we're not going to just build back. It's not about rebuilding. It's building. There was
building, right.
There. I mean, when you looked at the way people talk about disaster recovery, but there's preparedness before recovery. Those people were not prepared. And that is because they built according to their means.
Right.
So they had these wooden homes that were, to my mind, like paper boxes. So when Melissa hit, you know, the homes crumbled. So when we went in, and I tried to assess, just to walk through to see what was going on. There's a young lady. She was busy taking me through. Her house was totally flat. She showed me everybody else's home except her home, her own home.
Really?
I mean, I said, no, this is just absolutely amazing.
And what?
Helpless.
What was this gem's name? You remember her name?
Tavine.
Tavine? Oh.
Tavine, yes, her name is Tavine. She's still there. She showed us everybody's home except her home. And she was in tears. She expressed, I didn't even want to go certain places because it breaks my heart to see them like that. So when you see that love for community and that love for people, oh my gosh, that's just
that breaks your heart.
It's infectious. When something spread, what's the word that you use? It's contagious.
It's contagious.
I couldn't help but feel
break down to hand right now. Oh gosh.
Okay, I'm holding your hand through.
Yeah. I can just imagine. Yes. Well, Jamaica's vulnerable in so many natural disasters. And I think after Melissa, many are wondering if we can be better prepared for anything that may come. What have you learned from Bastard Cedar Walk that could inform how we approach disaster recovery as a country?
Yeah, and before recovery, or we should avoid as much as possible, try to avoid recovery. And how that will happen is just being preparedness. And so we do speak a lot about disaster preparedness. But based on what I saw in Bastard Cedar Walk,
There was not much.
I don't think we were prepared. Well, certainly those homes, and I alluded to it earlier, they built what they could afford.
Right.
So those homes were never built. I am surprised that they some of them
Even withstood
burial.
Okay. Okay.
So they were never built to withstand a hurricane, a category 3, yet alone a category 5. So what we have done and what we've decided, we cannot build back. And thankfully for Patrick, my friend, the building engineer, he's actually a Jamaican living overseas. And when he saw what was happening, he wanted to come on the ground and help. And he reached out to a fellow friend and said, I don't want to just go in and help. I don't want to talk shop. I want action. And so this friend put me on to Patrick, and he's been just an amazing support. He's brought his own expertise. He has experience in building homes for NHT. And when he came, he was the one who put that spotlight and said, I can't build back like this, Said, thank you, Patrick. And so what we're now doing is building differently. The homes that we have slated to put back there. Now, the other thing that we should note, many of them are on lease lands. So the reason why they build those structures is so that they can move. Pull down and move. So we have to make sure we give them that flexibility. And so what we're doing is they're building homes that are termite, because we saw homes crumble because the termites got to some of the structural walls, the beams that were holding up some of the walls. So we want to make sure it's termite resistant, it's waterproof, and we want to make sure it's fireproof as well. Incidentally and unfortunately, I heard recently that somebody who built back after Melissa, the house got devastated again due to fire. And
really? So now you have to do fireproof as well.
Exactly. So we're looking at fireproof, termite-proof, and
waterproof.
And this is where we're using steel frame structures. It's been tried and proven, and we're going to be building using fiber concrete boards so they can still pull down if they have to.
Right.
And
is it collapsible or just pull down? Just pull down? Okay.
They would with wood. And we're also taking them more off the ground, because what happened with Melissa, the roaring river turned its course, and so many of the communities were, including Bastard Cedar Walk, they were living in water. So should another hurricane come of that category, we want to make sure that we take them off the ground. So we're going to go up on stilts and have a structure that will be certainly able to withstand another hurricane.
But aren't a lot of the houses then, the board houses in Westmoreland on stilts already?
No, surprisingly, but there was one there that was on stilts, on concrete stilts, and I understand that house is about over 50 years old. It's a
really.
I took a video of it and I sent it to Patrick, my building engineer, and said, "Look at this. This home is still standing." So he says, "Yes, we're going to do better than that, or just as good as that."
But on stilts, as you said.
On stilts, but many of them, no, they were not on stilts.
I remember traveling to Guyana, and when I first saw the homes on stilts, I was totally surprised. So I guess it works.
Yes.
It's effective.
Yes.
When you're in waterways and things like that. But Kish, hold the thought. We're coming right back. We're going to take a break. Let's talk. We'll be right back.
Your brand deserves to be seen. Don't settle for ordinary. Choose Symbiotic Media, delivering ultra-sharp, crystal-clear LED screens that make every image pop. Brighter visuals, seamless setup, service you can trust. From major events to intimate podcasts, big or small, we do it all. Your screen deserves to be seen. Call Symbiotic Media, 876-429-1110.
Are you seeking specialty dental care? Well, look up Emirates Facial and Dental Specialists, Jamaica's only all-specialty dental practice. All board-certified oral surgeons, periodontists, and endodontists, offering maxillofacial procedures such as wisdom teeth extractions, laser gum surgery, dental implants, and root canals. Dr. Williams, Parkin, and Beecher offer state-of-the-art specialty procedures at affordable fees. Call 876-678-6967 or 876-391-2923 to schedule an appointment today.
What great stories do you want to tell today? We are your storytellers. We are Digital Video Concept.
If you come to Jamaica and you want to have the best shoots ever, you have to call Digital Video Concept.
Producing extraordinary imagery with high-definition cameras on the ground and in the sky. Excellence is in our nature. Call us today for all your video storytelling need.
None of this would be possible, of course, if we didn't have our partners at Digital Video Concept.
Are you ready? We are ready. Let's go!
Welcome back to Let's Talk. So we've been hearing from Kishka Anderson, the CEO of Market Research Limited, about her journey into Bastard Cedar Walk, a community that was devastated by Melissa. Their needs, their resilience, their love, their passion, their contagious passion to rise above the ashes, so to speak, like the phoenix. But Kishka was there firsthand and is relating her story. And Kishka, thanks for being here again to shed a light on Bastard Cedar Walk, because I'm sure the needs are many. But for someone watching this right now who wants to help you and the community, what would be the main priority right now?
Right, David. And I know I would have said earlier, the main priority obviously is a roof over their heads. But I want us to break that down into a lot more. That roof over the head will bring back the family together. The need to have stability, where the family can be back together and they can have that sense of dignity restored. The quality of life can be restored to them in whatever form or shape that might be. And I'm sure they might have different degrees of that need. But definitely, ultimately, is just to have back a quality of life where they can begin to see the future as bright again, stability to their homes, family restored, health is restored again, because now they are in a space that they can eat the way they should want to eat and want to eat. And it's more hygienic conditions. Ultimately, health will be restored. There's just so much more. So the need is getting back Bastard Cedar Walk to a community that is dignified and one that is representative of the way of the people, the hearts of the people.
Right.
That warm, harmonious space where people are living together as one and not so much on top of each other, even though there's so much love.
Yeah, you said that.
So that is the ultimate need.
As you said, there are many little towns like Bastard Cedar Walk. How are they coping? How are the communities beside them coping? Would you know? Do you know?
The truth is no. I mean, one of the things I decided, because I know me, I decided that I was going to stay focused on
Bastard Cedar Walk.
And what I thought was it was just so much or so many things. I know I had to just stay focused. But based on what I'm hearing, they're joining communities that are the same or even
worse.
Even worse than Bastard Cedar Walk.
Bastard Cedar Walk is a population of how much? How many? Do you know?
I think I'm hearing it's somewhere around 250 persons, but the Petersfield community over 2,500 persons there, and Bastard Cedar Walk is in the range somewhere about 150 to 250 people. The study we're doing now will really help us to quantify that number.
Okay, beautiful. And during this, Kishka, as you said, there was a hierarchy that you had to as I said, temper the anxiety. Temper the passion of going in. How much of that how much of that did you encounter? Did you have to temper the passion a whole lot to be able to deal with? Or they just wanted you to know that, hey, look, this is a rule, this is how it works. And then having established that, it was just go ahead.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just respect for people's space. And I must say, when we were going in 1 week after, I heard a lot of stories about looting, and you have to be very careful going into Westmoreland. So that first day that I went in, I took a friend of mine who's an ex-policeman. I say, you're coming with me, because I hear that you have to be so careful going into Westmoreland. But David, I was pleasantly surprised.
Surprised, yeah.
I did not encounter anything like that.
So-
I just saw persons who were looking for help and ready to receive you, ready to greet you with such warmth. So happy to see somebody coming out with some food, some water for them. I did not experience that.
So it was just the two of you that went in, you and the
No,
policeman?
it was
Oh.
three. Some families came along. We've had some lovely persons going the journey with us. My fieldwork manager, she and her spouse was there. So there were about 3 vehicles of us, but in
Okay.
my vehicle,
Right.
I had a friend of mine who is an ex-policeman just to have that sense of security. But we did not feel any way at all threatened along the way. And just so that hasn't been an issue. So just to correct the whole hierarchy is once we went in, their personalities and
Right.
they have a certain way of doing things.
Correct.
And so I guess who we should have been speaking to first to understand we perhaps didn't
Yeah, well,
necessarily go to
right.
that person
I
first.
can understand
But
that too.
once that was, once we understood it and everybody was brought into the fold and everybody felt included and nobody felt that they were being excluded and there's no favoritism thing or politics, because that's another thing.
That's another thing too.
Holding back because this was a political thing. We had to make it clear the first day. This has nothing to do with politics. We are here because some of our staff members live in the community, and so come, we want you to be a part of it. So once you understand the dynamics that way, it's easy. I can go into a Bastard Cedar Walk any day. I'll just call, hey, I'm on my way, and it's
Right.
like going home.
Right.
It's like going
indeed.
home. The people are just lovely. you know?
Indeed. So let me ask this. Now that you have adopted Bastard Cedar Walk, are there any other organizations that has adopted Bastard Cedar Walk? Is it that they're getting all their help or most of their help from you?
I have not heard, and I use that word guardedly, adopted. That's it's fine.
Well, Kishka, you're taking it on.
I've not heard of anybody else taking on the community, but they've gotten help. Persons are helping within. And I've been speaking to other persons in the community and they're sharing with me persons who've come on. So I'll be reaching out, but no, I'm not aware of any other organizations.
Okay. What's one thing about the Bastard Cedar Walk community that has surprised, Mark, you did say it, the love but that has surprised or inspired you the most?
Yeah, I think that is it. The selflessness of the people.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that there is a wooden home that needs help and that family decided to open their homes to offer shelter to somebody who's been completely demolished. That is what really has inspired me.
So is that community spirit growing up? Mr. Matty would have called Mr. John and, when a house for build and thing, 10 away as men go and we go build this one house. Has that community, is that the community spirit that is still there,
That's
very
currently
much there?
what I'm expecting, and it will obviously be tested because when we're putting in the first home in a few weeks' time, we've asked there are lots of skilled tradesmen in the area, and they're the ones that's going to be providing the labor for those.
Okay.
So we're expecting to see that. So I'll certainly be able to give you an update on how that works, but that's what I'm expecting.
Okay. And how big are these new homes that you're building? How this 10 by 10?
Yeah,
what does it include, kind of thing like?
yes. Right now we're just, because of funds, we just don't, depends on what happens. Right now we're giving them a room, just somewhere so that they're not sleeping on top of somebody. So
Okay.
we're looking at some anywhere between a 10 by 12, a 12 by 15, 16 by 16, depending on the number of persons that will be housing. So it's just a room. And then they will take their time and build back because they also want to build back. They want that sense of independence too. So we're giving you a start to
Right.
build back. So that is what it is.
Okay. Keisha, I hear the passion, and I know you as my friend. So I know this the next question is going to be a little bit tough. But what do you prefer? Corporate work or advocacy?
Well, if I had a depth of pocket, I would give up 9 to 5 right
Right,
now.
all right. Fair enough, fair enough.
Definitely do more of this. I do love to, it's rewarding when you're able to see tears move to, that's the short answer.
Lovely, lovely. What role should the private sector play in long-term disaster recovery? Based on the fact that you work with these people, Kishka, you've been analyzing and doing all this data research for them. What role do you think the private sector should play regarding disaster recovery?
Excellent. And I am aware that the private sector has done quite a bit. In fact, I am convinced, I might be going off, it might be a bold statement, but I believe that it's because of their intervention that has really helped us through this a lot. However, to answer the question about what role they should, I would like to see us going beyond emergency. So the emergency response is there to restoration.
Right.
We've seen some companies, I think it was the Spanish court where you saw they were actually giving homes. So it's the restoration for the long term. So now we passed emergency state, but to just keep at it over the time until we build back and make sure that they're ready for the next hurricane season. You know?
Because it's fast coming up on us already.
It's about 6 months or so away.
Indeed. Boy, this has been an inspiring discussion, Kishka. You and I can sit down and talk about this all day. Thanks for sharing not just the story of Bastard Cedar Walk, but the bigger conversation about what it means to truly support communities. The hurricane happened a few months ago, but it's important for us to keep the conversation and the support for these areas going. I strongly believe that. And the fact that you're advocating for it, you said you're not sure if adoption is too strong a word, but I know my friend and I know you're invested, and I used the word adoption and it was not strong. It is the perfect word for what you're doing for the Bastard Cedar Walk community. Kishka, please let our viewers know how to reach out to you for whatever support they might want to give, continue to give, or just to find out from you how things are with the Bastard Cedar Walk community.
All right. Thanks for that. So no, because we're not a charitable organization, we have partnered with Crisis Support Organization, an amazing charity, two brothers that they've been working really tirelessly and hard. I met them through my own efforts through the Hurricane Melissa recovery, and they have offered to collect donations on our behalf. We will collect materials as well, so cash and materials, building supplies to help build back. Of course, there are certain standards that we're building according to. So we're looking for fiber concrete boards, standing seam zinc. So whatever, if you're not able to give cash, we will accept kind. A list of materials. We do have a list of materials, and so we'll accept that. By looking at the screen, you'll see we have a US dollar account as well as a Jamaican dollar account. Should you be able to donate cash towards this effort, we'd be grateful. And thank you very much, David, for having me.
It's a joy.
And all the best.
Oh, indeed. All the best to you and all the best for me. Excellent. Well, that's it for this episode of Let's Talk. As usual, thanks to our sponsors who continue to make the show possible, Digital Video Concept and Pro Audio Visual Systems, as well as Lloyd's Decor and Rental Services Limited. If you enjoy this episode, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. You can also tune in on LCBN TV UK. Until next time, let's keep talking. I am David Henry. Shalom.